Authenticity for me at this point in my life means autonomy. It means freedom. It means control over my life. It means say so. It means balance. And all of those things that I just listed are nearly impossible to have while you serve active duty in the military. There is a different level of stress and anxiety that I don't think anyone else will fully understand unless you serve. Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chavi, and if you're a returning subscriber, I really appreciate you clicking on this video to tune in once again. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel before you take off or before you complete this video. I noticed that I have a lot of people viewing my content, but y'all aren't subscribed, so please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I want to keep this intro short and I want to get right into it. You clicked on this video today because you are curious about my decision to get out of the military, to separate from the Navy after 12 years of service. I want to share with you guys why I chose not to retire even though I was over that hump, and I want to also share lessons that I've learned, what my experience has been like, and why I'm making my decision, as well as what I'll be doing now that I'm separating from the Navy. Let's get right into it. I want to start off by just giving a disclaimer that this video is not at all going to be about me bashing the military. I want to tell you guys a little bit about my career and what it's been like. I joined the Navy at 20 years old, so I had some real life experience before I decided to start my career in the military. I joined for the reasons of stability, to have a consistent paycheck, and one of my biggest priorities was my education. I don't have that cliche explanation for joining that we all hear, which is I joined to serve my country. I'm just being real with you. That is not why I joined the Navy. I joined the Navy for a lot of reasons that benefited me. I have been all about my benefits, but I also realized that being in the military is service. It is a sacrificial job. So while the military has required a lot of my time, energy, and so on and so forth, I have done everything in my career to the best of my abilities to also get as much out of the military that I could. I want to make it clear that overall, my experience in the Navy has been a really good experience. I don't regret my decision. I've enjoyed my time. I met a lot of people. I've had a lot of great interactions. For the most part, it has been a positive experience. But of course, you know, there's always bad that comes along with the good. I feel very fortunate that my decision to get out has been of my own choice, and it's not because of this extremely negative or traumatic experience that I've had in. I know that that's not everybody's story, but I'm really grateful that that is my story. I'm getting out by my own choice, so that means that I am separating honorably with all of my benefits. So one of the top reasons why I decided to separate is just because it is very important to me to do something that I genuinely enjoy. I know that, you know, every day isn't gonna be rainbows and sunshine, but I want to do something that I have passion for. And I have served in the Navy as a hospital corpsman, which is a medical professional. And for majority of my career, I would say up until 8 years, I was passionate about what I did. I enjoyed it. I had a desire for progression. I had a consistent desire for growth. I wanted to make the next rank and the next rank. But at that 8-year mark, I started to really question how much I was enjoying my job and if it was what I wanted to continue to do. Now, I will say, when I joined the Navy, my intention was always to separate before retirement, before that 20-year mark. It was at the 8-year mark where I realized I need to really actually start evaluating my transition out now, because I'm ready to get off of this ride. Like, it's been fun. It's been a fun ride, but it's time for me to move on. And it was at that point that I started to seriously save my money and make plans to transition in a healthy and smooth way. I have been very fortunate in my career that I was able to complete my bachelor's degree while I served active duty. Now, It, of course, was a challenge. It required a lot of discipline, so I give myself all the credit, but you know, the military afforded that to me because it was completely paid for. I completed my bachelor's in business administration in 2022. I went to school consistently. However, when you are active duty as well as a full-time student, you don't have the traditional student experience. So it took me a little while to complete my degree, but I did it. And I realized I wanted to pursue a career that was more in alignment with the degree that I had. So I lost that passion and that drive and that desire to be a corpsman. And I also got to a point where I had no desire to promote to the next rank. Personally, I knew that I never wanted to be a part of this organization solely for a paycheck. And I will say that during my career, the way that I show up as a leader was always very important to me. I took my role as having subordinates and managing multiple people and my impact and influence on them. I took it very seriously. So when I got to that 8-year mark and I realized that I had lost that passion, I had lost that drive or even desire to promote, I knew that it was time for me to move on. Another point that I want to share is as I've grown in my career, as I've grown up literally from age 20 to now 31 while serving in the military, I've changed a lot. Just imagining who I was, who Shavante was at 20 years old, I don't recognize that girl anymore. She's such a past version of me in comparison to who I am now. I have completely different interests, goals, desires, and I realized that my career in the military started to feel very out of alignment with who I am. It started to feel like a burden. I want to live my life in a way that is authentic to me. Authenticity for me at this point in my life means autonomy. It means freedom. It means control over my life. It means say so. It means balance. And all of those things that I just listed are nearly impossible to have while you serve active duty in the military. Being in the military is absolutely one of those career paths where it's you do as you're told, you show up when you're told to be there in the right uniform, and there are no ifs, ands, buts about it. And if you're not there, you're not doing what you're supposed to, you will be penalized. And I wanted to have a lot more control and say so over my schedule and my overall life. So I am prioritizing at the very top my autonomy and of course my peace of mind. I will also share, being very candid, my mental health really took a toll while I served active duty in the military because the culture as well as the requirements, there is a different level of stress and anxiety that I don't think anyone else will fully understand unless you serve, because it's as if you always have to be ready. You know, at the drop of a dime, anything could pop off. You could be called in to do God knows what. So my mental health did suffer greatly, especially in the last 3 years, once my mind was made up that it was time for me to move on. And I prioritize my mental health. I will not sacrifice my mental health for anything at this point in my life. And I just wanted to escape the rat race that the military requires that was taking such a tremendous toll on my mental health. I feel like I kind of touched on this, but I want to elaborate a little bit more. I am at a point now where I just want to do something new. And I realize that I am a lifelong learner. I love to learn. But I started to feel in the military as if I was being pigeonholed into my job, and I completely lost that desire to be in the medical field, but I couldn't escape it. There are programs that you can pursue, and I definitely evaluated those options, but none of them felt aligned with my future, the future that I saw for myself. Because I am a lifelong learner and I take a lot of pride in being a teachable person, I realized that the career path that I wanted was not in the military anymore. I began to develop a curiosity for things like coding and cybersecurity, and I wanted to learn more about tech. And obviously my degree is in business admin, completely different from medicine, and I just wanted to explore that option more. I wanted to explore the possibility of a complete career shift. I am doing a cybersecurity program right now through Allegiant Vets, and the reason why I'm able to do this program is through the military skill bridge program. I share a lot more about my skill bridge journey on my TikTok, so if you're interested, I will make sure that my TikTok is linked below, but you can find me at Chavi Allie. I'm Chavi Allie everywhere. So I'm doing this skill bridge cybersecurity program right now, and it has been so refreshing to learn something new. Another thing that I want to speak on very honestly, because I want to be real with y'all. I want to make more money. I want to make more money, and I realized that there is money to be made outside of the military. I never felt as if I had to stay in to be successful. I know that I have the capacity. I know that I have the intellect, the intelligence. I know that I have the ability to network, to get to where I need to be in the right rooms. I know that the right doors are going to open up for me. I know I'm going to meet the right people and be connected. And I'm not saying that as if it's just going to be the easiest process, but I am ready to get into a career where I make the money that I deserve for the amount of work that I put in. As I said before, being in the military is service, it's a sacrifice. It requires so much of you. And I honestly do not feel as if we get paid enough. Now, there are lots of benefits, but the paycheck, in my opinion, it should be more. It should be more for what is expected and required of us. So now that you guys know my primary reasons on why I decided to separate from the military after 12 years of service, I want to share with y'all what I'm going to be doing next. I am so excited to share. I got accepted into grad school at UCSD's Rady School of Management to pursue my MBA. I will be starting grad school in the fall. I'm super excited. I have already gotten plugged in with the faculty, and I've already been connecting with some students, and I'm just so excited. I'm just like overly excited like to be doing this. And honestly, it was not initially my number one choice. It was the backup plan to the backup plan. But let me tell you something. When something is meant for you, it just aligns perfectly. It just works out. And I submitted my application last fall in November and went through the application process, did my interview, and I was accepted. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. When I was doing my application initially last fall, I was just like being a little bit delulu, like thinking I can do whatever I want. Like anything that I set my mind to, it's for me. I can accomplish it. I started working on my application, and then I just went down this rabbit hole looking into the stats for UCSD, and imposter syndrome tried to get me, y'all. It really did. I started to think, who do I think I am? Are these people gonna want me at their school? But I swept that little imposter syndrome under the rug, and I submitted my application, and here I am. I'm sharing with you guys now that I got accepted. I'm ready for the new challenge. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to build new community, which I think is very, very important for me through this transition. I just see this upcoming season being so good to me. I feel like this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I have so much peace about my journey so far in the process of separating. I will not be officially out of the Navy until July 15th of 2024 this year, so I still have a couple of months. But as I said, I'm doing my program, and I am just creating a new routine for myself as I go through this journey of becoming a civilian. So yeah, that summarizes my decision and a little bit of my history in the Navy, as well as my future plans. If you have any further questions or would like me to make a follow-up video, drop the questions down below. Let me know if you think I should have more conversation about my journey. I'm excited to share. So I just want to say once again, thank you guys for tuning in for this video. If you still are not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Please hit the subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, I really appreciate you guys so much. I truly do, because we know your girl kind of, you know, took a little hiatus, but as you can see, I'm getting my life together. Please make sure you give my video a thumbs up. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Later, besties.